Welcome to the 2018 Game of the Year Awards on Worthabuy, and what a year it's been, guys. What a year it's been. We've been lied to, we've been scammed, we've been shilled, we've been hyped for no reason whatsoever. It's just been absolutely tragic for gamers this year. But there have been a few shining lights in the trough of shit called the gaming industry for 2018, and I'm going to bring you them shining lights now as we crown our worthy Game of the Years in all categories, guys. Now the first category, guys, the first category that we're going to put up here is the shooters. There was a few shooters in 2018, quite a few shooters, and I'm going to split it into two types of shooter. We're going to have the tactical shooter and the twitchy kind of arcadey shooter. So let's start with the twitchy, arcadey kind of shooter. We had Far Cry, Cry Your Eyes Out 5 with some amazing DLCs. I've never seen such shite DLCs in my natch as the ones that came out for Far Cry 5, my oath. We then had Mother Gunship. Remember Mother Gunship, guys? What a great game that was, and it's just had a huge update as well. Free, of course. We had a few others as well, guys, but this is going to be a long video, so I'm just going to cut to the chase. The best twitchy arcadey shooter of 2018 for me. There's only one winner, and that's Mother Gunship. It was just freaking awesome game. Here's a clip from the review. Guys, playing this game is so much damn fun simply because the explosions, the enemies, the weapons and the control, they are really well done in this game. Anyway, let's move on to best tactical shooter. Now, there was a few of these. We had Postscriptum, which was a really atmospheric shooter in World War II, where you could drive tanks and where you joined a kind of like a little platoon, and it was very realistic, very hard. It's not for everybody, that game, but what it does very, very well. We also had Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which had a pretty decent solid battle royale mode. If you're into battle royale, the rest of it was pants. We also had Battlefield 5, guys. Who could forget Battlefield 5? Those immersive sounds on the battlefield. Actually, that was such a feminine scream there. That was hilarious. Please, that's on stream. You've got to watch that. You've got to watch that. That just sums up 2018. That was bloody quality. Oh dear, it wasn't bad as a shooter, but my goodness, it had zero immersion compared to the likes of Postscriptum. And then we had Insurgency Sandstorm, which really surprised me at how good that game was. Really good gunplay, brilliant sounds as well. Not as good sounds as Postscriptum, I must add, but a different type of game to Postscriptum, really. So which one took my fancy as the best tactical shooter? Well, it pretty much boils down to two, really, and that's between Postscriptum and Insurgency. They are different types of games, but the one I enjoyed the most is definitely Insurgency Sandstorm. So I'm going to give it to that, but it could have gone either way, to be honest. Both of them really good games. Next up, guys, we have strategy. Now, there was a few good strategy games this year, some really good strategy games this year. We had Railway Empire, which was good. Into the Breach, what a fantastic game that was, made by the developers of Faster Than Light. We had Battletech, which was a really good turn-based mech game. We had Frostpunk, what a game that was. Frostpunk, a bit of an RTS-y kind of city builder, really good. Slay the Spire, who can forget that? That was a brilliant game, Slay the Spire. That was the one with the cards, and you go through the dungeon, really good. 2 Point Hospital, nothing like any of the others in this category, but a really good game on its own as well. Now bear in mind, guys, this isn't role-playing game of the year, that's another category. This is best strategy game of the year, and it's a toughie. This is a toughie. Now, I'm going to give the runner-up to Slay the Spire because it's a brilliant game, Slay the Spire, just not quite good enough to beat what was my best strategy game of the year, and that is Frostpunk. Here's a clip.
We decided to leave our homes and head north. We roamed for weeks, maybe months, leaving behind all the things we once believed had made us. was hope that pushed us forward. Slowly, step by step, we knew the cost of our journey, and we paid the price 100 times. Finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
What a great game that is. Highly recommended. Brilliant in pretty much every sense. Absolutely fantastic game. Great strategy game. Next we have Driving Game of the Year. Now there wasn't a lot in this. I've narrowed it down to 4. And that is The Crew 2. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Forza Horizon 4, F1 2018 and Wreckfest. I'm giving the runner-up to Forza, so that means you all know which I think was the best driving game of the year. That's right, Wreckfest. It just beat Forza, to be honest, because Forza, although it was a good game, it just wasn't a great game. Wreckfest is so much damn fun. What a great game Wreckfest is. Highly recommended if you just want to get in and let off some steam and bash the shit out of every other car. I want to go and play it now. I can just see myself playing it in my head. I just want to go and play it now. Now guys, we move on to role-playing game of the year. We had some belters here. We had some really good ones. We had Shadows Awakening. Remember that one? Shadows Awakening had some great voiceovers. Tom Baker was one of them. Really good game, that. Really good game. Here's a little clip from my review.
Evia, the daughter of fire, a princess of the Imperial Gerulian Empire. She would have been God Empress if she had not rebelled. She died on the Reliquary Crusade 3 centuries ago.
Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. Absolutely brilliant RPG game. Thoroughly enjoyed playing that game. Really, really good. And then we had Kingdom Come Deliverance. Wow. Kingdom Come Deliverance. What a great game that was. Now there was a few others, but it isn't worth really mentioning them because these 3 games were pretty much light years ahead of anything else that came out in 2018 as far as role-playing games is concerned. It was a tough one, this. I know a lot of you are thinking, oh, it's bound to be Kingdom Come Deliverance, but no, not necessarily, because Pillars of Eternity 2 was... Alright, I'm lying. Pillars of Eternity 2's runner-up, of course it's Kingdom Come Deliverance. It was just brilliant. I mean, yes, it was buggy. It had some bugs, but nothing that broke the game for me when I was playing it. But as for just a pure, brilliant RPG, very well written, pretty well executed, fantastic game. Absolutely fantastic game, considering it wasn't a AAA title. Absolutely brilliant. So that gets my role-playing game of the year, and it pretty much was a no-brainer for me, that. Absolutely fantastic game. Now, because 2018 was such an awfully shit year, I'm now just moving on to overall game of the year. Overall game of the year. Now, I have put this down to 5 games. And it may shock you to know that most of these are console games. That just shows how bad it's been for the PC in 2018. So, the first one is a PC game, primarily, and that is Subnautica. Absolutely brilliant survival game. Now, these games, you should all own these games. These games that I'm going to read out now are all freaking great games. So the Subnautica, which was a fantastic survival game, got finished this year. It's been in early access development for a few years. It's pretty much early access done correctly. I don't particularly like the developers of that game after they got rid of that guy over the SJW. Freaking jokes that he put up. I've pretty much lost any kind of respect for the developers who will just sacrifice one of their own just to appease the SJWs. Disgusting. Next up we have Kingdom Come Deliverance by Warhorse Studios. They know how to deal with SJWs. When people ask them to apologise, just say, nah. Brilliant. Brilliant development team. I love them. Then we have from one brilliant developer team to an absolutely fucking awful development team. We have Red Dead Redemption 2 by Rockstar Games, who I despise with every fibre of my being. I despise the way they marketed the game with all the pre-order bullshit. I despise the way they f***ed over the multiplayer part of this game with their expensive gold fucking bars just to buy a fucking colour of your hat or whatever the hell it is. It's just scandalous. And then they sell you gold bars. Fucking despicable, horrible, slimy, anti-fucking company they are. Then we have Detroit Become Human on the PS4, a fantastic story, really, really good game that is. It's like a story-driven game, one of the best stories of 2018. Absolutely loved that game. And again, staying with the PS4, it was a great year for the PS4. We have God of War, which again surprised me, a really solid, really good game. I really enjoyed it as well, which is saying something. When you put a controller in my hand and stick it in front of a fucking console, it has to be good for me to enjoy it. So there you go, guys. That's the shortlist for Game of the Year. And for me, there is only one winner. It is the game that I absolutely loved. Absolutely, thoroughly enjoyed playing. And I'm still playing it now. I can't even say it, guys. Fucking hell. It pains me to say it. It hurts, guys. It hurts. Red Dead Redemption 2. Fuck off, Rockstar. But I have to, guys. I know multiplayer's a fucking mess, but the single player game was just brilliant. Absolutely fucking brilliant. And if I was to turn around and give it to Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is an amazing game, which I loved, I would be lying, because see, what pipped Red Dead over Kingdom Come was there was too many bugs in Kingdom Come Deliverance. It was the bugs. If it hadn't been as bugged, I'd have given it to Kingdom Come. And if the combat had been a bit better in Kingdom Come, I'd have given it to that. But Red Dead Redemption just had it all for me. I loved the combat. I loved the characters. I loved the story. I loved the setting. I loved the crafting. I loved the hunting. I loved the freedom. I loved the characters that you met, the whole way you could just go off on your own adventure. I absolutely loved that game. Definitely Game of the Year. Nothing can touch Red Dead Redemption 2 this year. Despite the shit of the developers, despite the multiplayer bullshit, because at the end of the day, I didn't buy Red Dead Redemption 2 for the multiplayer. In fact, I've never even played the multiplayer, and I don't care how bad it is, because as a single player game, it blows away the competition. Here's a reminder of my review. I could talk for hours about all the stuff, all the content, all the fun stuff to do in this game. Just going off on your own and you can go off on your own and have weeks of adventures just by yourself without even touching on the huge campaign that this game has. There's loads of side quests as well. There's loads of just little things that aren't even quests that you can do. You can just sit on a cliff edge and start sniping random people. You can just be a bastard. You can tie people up, throw them on a railway line if you want, like you did in the first one. There's no end to what you can't do. It is a total sandbox game outside of the actual campaign. It is a definite contender for Game of the Year. There is no question about it. And it is definitely the best game I've ever played on a console. That is without a shadow of a doubt. It's fantastic, guys, and it is definitely worth a buy. And I know some people who've bought an actual console just to actually play this, and they are absolutely loving it with no regrets. I'm not suggesting you buy a console to play this game, but my goodness, I wish this was on PC so that every gamer could experience it, because it is just a really good game. And do you know something? This sets the bar, and Ubisoft and all these other publishers and developers should look at this, because this is the kind of polish that I expect on a AAA game. When I see a AAA game, you might say, oh, Mac, you just hate everything. No, I don't. This is what I expect from a AAA game. If you're paying £80, which is what the full game costs on this, I expect this kind of content, this kind of fun, and this kind of polish. And Red Dead Redemption 2 delivers this. And it's just sad that hardly any other games do.
Stick 'em up, cowboy.
So there you go, guys. A console game has won the Game of the Year on Worthabuy. That just shows how shite the PC has been in 2018.